Hello, this video is expressing the positive versus expressing the negative. I'm a New Ager, and a lot of New Agers are really into being positive, just expressing positivity. Which is great, but personally I think it's good to express yourself and to express your emotions and what you think about stuff. And there's lots of stuff wrong with the world, so I think it's a good idea for us to explain what we don't like. It's, certain things that we don't like in the world, and if you're trying to focus on negative, if you focus on something negative that you don't like and explain why you don't like it, I think you're doing good, as opposed to just causing more problems. I'm making this video because a subscriber of mine was telling me that I push against a lot and that I should only focus on the positive, and don't I want the world to have a transformation and all this stuff? And yeah, I do want to have the world have a transformation, and I think a good way to help have the world transformation is to express your grievances. We've never been allowed to express our grievances throughout history. If you express your grievances, you get hauled off and killed. People were afraid to express their grievances. That's the First Amendment of the United States of America. Freedom of speech and the freedom to express your grievances to the government. Those founding fathers knew what they were talking about. And it's something that I would love to hear. That's actually something that I enjoy doing more than anybody. Doing more than anything else is talking trash about people. Not to their faces, but just, to my friends, just saying stuff about them, and just, it's kind of like psychological analyzation. And it doesn't have to be negative because they're never going to hear it, But, as far as but I think we should express our grievances with each other. I would love it if somebody expressed their grievances with me. I know a lot of people have grievances with me because I'm getting trash all the time on YouTube about my, like my exercise videos. And one of them, they do. One of them, I'm not complaining about people trying to tell me that I have bad form and I'm going to get myself injured and I'm going to encourage other people to get themselves injured. That's fine. Give me reasons for that. That's great. But say fundamentalist Christians. I said I had a video recently where I uploaded a video a few months ago where I say fuck Jesus Christ, and none of the and the people who don't like that, the fundamentalist Christians who get pissed off, they don't express their grievances. They don't explain anything. All they do is they think they're going to get me by repeating to me what I said about Jesus. Fuck Kyle. I want to stick my dick in Kyle's butt. I want Kyle to come all over me, fucking Kyle. And then they would say something to remind me that they're angry with me. Kyle's a homophobe. Kyle's a brainless piece of shit. Kyle doesn't know how to read. And it's and there's one person who's added 20 comments on that video, a couple comments on another comment on another video, and then 5 comments on my profile page. And that's not expressing your grievances. That's like having a psychotic fit. And that's fine. There's definitely something to be said for that. Whenever you stick a peg in a vampire's chest, and he's dying, he's screaming, and then he's dead. It kind of what I'm picturing this person's going through. There's just screaming, and freaking out, and then when they're done screaming, they're going to be done, and they're not going to do it anymore, and they're going to be less likely to do it on somebody else's video. If they're going to see somebody else upload a video where they say fuck Jesus, or if I made another video, they're just going to be tired and not going to want to do it anymore. So that's fine, but it would be more constructive if they were to just tell me why I shouldn't have that video. And they didn't once tell me to delete the video. None of those people ever told me to delete the video. But, say, oh, you shouldn't say that about Jesus because it makes, it's like going against their religion, and, and you shouldn't try to make people feel bad about themselves. In which case I could counter that, and then I could give, you know, an explanation. Well, they shouldn't pay attention to that kind of stuff. There's other kind of stuff you can pay attention to. And whatever, you can go back and forth. But the fact of the matter is that they don't want to do that. They only want to talk to your face. But I mean, expressing your grievances, I think I'm doing them a favor. And the person actually said that they think they're doing me a favor by coming at me. So we're doing each other a favor. And you know, they're not being constructive, but they're still expressing their grievances, and I respect that. Some people upload videos and they write, well, it's girls anyway. I don't think I've ever seen a guy do it. Girls are really sensitive. They go, oh, and it's girls who don't even really say anything that provocative anyway, but they go, you know, oh, if anybody says anything negative about me or slanderous or death threats or anything to me, as if anybody would give them a death threat, I'm going to delete your comments and block you. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think people should delete comments and block each other. If you block somebody, you're kind of like playing their game. You're agreeing with them that they're making you look stupid by attacking you. Whereas what you really should be doing is taking advantage of the comment aspect of YouTube, or uploading video to any site. The comment, and that's half of the joy for me, is the comments. You upload a video and then people come at you, and if they're really rude, you can tell them that they're rude. You can be like, look, man, you're being rude like that and calling me names and telling me that I should be in jail and that I'm a disgrace to humanity. Makes you look like kind of an asshole. You might want to think about coming at me with a logical argument in the 300 characters that you have to argue with me, you know. You don't have an infinite amount of things to say. Just be civilized. And I, you know, like this one guy came at me yesterday twice, 4 different times on a video where I uploaded where people should smoke crack cocaine on a regular basis. And I really do believe that. If that was legal, I would totally be smoking and sniffing crack cocaine on a regular basis, because I know that I would never become addicted to that. And plus, drugs should be legal for obvious reasons that I'm not going to get into right now. But anyways, he's going like, yeah, you're disgraced humankind, you're a crackhead piece of shit, you should be in jail, and so you can get treatment, and just being and calling me some more names. And I told him that, and then he came back at me, and he actually started trying to argue with me. He was being respectful. He wasn't being like as much of an asshole. So, you know, if somebody comes and is an asshole to you, instead of blocking them, just tell them that they're being an asshole. And then they'll come back at you, and then they might actually try to have an actual conversation with you. And that's where the meat of it is, because that's where the juice is, man. That's where you can really explore your argument, and they can explore their argument, and then it'll give you an idea about a video to make, and it'll sow the seed of an idea of them to make a video about something that they believe. You know, and maybe they do have multiple channels. People can open multiple channels. I don't think it's right that people would have different channels where they have their hack channel, where they would sign in and just like insult people and be angry with people and tell them they should be in jail and they're a disgrace to humanity and they shouldn't exist and their mother made a mistake getting pregnant with you. You know, where you're totally invisible and nobody knows anything about you. No uploads, no favorites, no information about you. You know, and then you would have another channel where you actually like maybe even have information about you. You know, and maybe even upload a video where you're talking about like why you like the new Quentin Tarantino movie or something, you know. But I think all those videos should be, all of those, if you're going to be a hack and you're going to do it anonymously, that shows that you're not proud of what you're saying. You're being a schizophrenic. Schizophrenics are like they have two sides to their personality. And you obviously have two sides to your personality if you're not able to say something and you're not proud enough of what you're saying to let it know who it's coming from. Let people know who that negativity is coming from. People should be, and that's another video, but people should be who they are to everybody. That's another video, so I'm not going to get distracted. This video is about, if you should pay attention to positive and negative. And I think to be a contributor to the transformation, part of it is expressing your grievances. A big chunk of it is expressing your grievances, because there's lots of stuff to grieve over. If a certain amount of people upload videos saying how they hate Muslims, that's negative. I hate Muslims because this and because that. I hate him. If enough people do that, Muslims are eventually going to look at it and they're going to go, okay, we give up. We're going to stop focusing on negative and hacking our wives' noses and ears off and chopping their arms off and threatening death threats for anybody who draws a picture of Muhammad, and not allowing people to have piggy banks and like all this like vague shit, making women, wear shawls and not allowing our high school kids to express their opinions and stuff like this. They're going to abandon all of that. They can still be Muslims. They can still have do all of the traditional prayers 5 times a day and have the book of Quran as their holy book, but also read other books. But I think expressing your grievances, if enough people express those grievances, they're going to give in and they're going to give up. They're just going to get tired of expressing all that negativity. And the people who are expressing grievances aren't expressing negativity. They're just expressing their grievances. It's different from, and if you want to express your grievance over somebody like drawing a picture of Muhammad, you can give a reason. But the problem is, there is no reason. The only reason is just because Muhammad supposedly said so in the Quran, and that's it. Because he said so, he doesn't have to have a reason because he's the prophet. Even though he never even wrote the Quran in the first place, couldn't even write. But which goes to show that you could be a great prophet and not even know how to write. But anyways, yeah. So being able to express both, you don't have to be a Christian or a New Ager and only say positive things. I mean, look at fundamentalist Christians. They're like that. They try to be positive and smiley, and you can tell that they're forcing a smile. How are you? Oh, I'm perfect. Everything's perfect. Happy. Everything. And then you'll see them like bawling in the corner, over something that's ridiculous. But you can't ask them what's wrong, because then they'd just be like, oh, everything's fine. Because they have to like show you how happy they are, and that it's their religion that made them that happy, But for me, you have to be real. You have to be you. And so that's how you have a transformation. You express everything, what you think about stuff. That's how you bring people together. All of our different religions, they don't hang out with each other in more primitive countries. In the countries that do well, those different religions hang out with each other. It's like, oh, my Jewish friend is coming over, and it's just like a Jewish thing. It's just like a style, a traditional style that they're proud of themselves. They're proud of their heritage, their genetic heritage, their whatever, their traditions. And so you got the Jewish guy dressed like a Jew, happily being all the stereotypical things that a Jew is, and then he's friends with the Christian guy and the Catholic dude who does the Catholic things, and the Buddhist, and that's how America is. And they all go out and they're hanging out, man, and they're buddies. But in these like screwed up countries, they allow that to get in the way and hurt their economy, like like in Kosovo, the Baltics, where the Muslims can't be friends with the Christians, and in Israel. But if those people were to just express their grievances rather than, because if you don't express your grievances, through words, you're going to express your grievances through violence and pushing and yelling, and that's not what you want to do. But that's not as good, but it's still, I think, something to be said for that. Anyways, I'm out of time.